Afro Radio, folks. This is DJ Tribal, and this is the very first episode of Angry Afro Crypto. And I want to give a big shout out to my Black People in Crypto FB fam. That group is huge now. It's like 15,000 people, led by none other than Deidre McIntyre and her team of admins. And we are, I'm telling you, 15,000 strong, 15,000 Black people in the crypto. That is huge. Awesome. That is huge. Today I'm chatting with the CEO of King's Block, the parent company of Strain Finance, Mr. Benjamin Bond. He is a software engineer and has just launched SFN token on the Binance network. Welcome to the show, Mr.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you,
speak
sir.
To your audience.
Right on. So tell us a little bit about how did you become a software engineer? How did you get into crypto? That whole, give us that background.
So to be honest, I've been developing for as long as I can remember. My mom was an engineer for Ford Motor Company.
Nice.
So the same way, like a lot of other people, their parents may get them like piano lessons or something like that. My mom would always sit me on the computer. Like that was way back in the day when it was just like DOS and you were on the command line and typing and stuff like that. So she was real adamant about me programming and learning the stuff that she was learning. So like she didn't hold anything back. Like I never had any restriction on screen time back in the day. You know,
that's,
just like
that's awesome.
Learn as much as you can. Yeah.
Right.
And then crypto, I've been in crypto for quite a while, since like the $5 Bitcoin. I think that was about back in 2013, I believe.
Wow.
I actually purchased my first Bitcoin on Fiverr, and that was when everything was still $5 on Fiverr. Yeah, they banned that. It was like a good 2 weeks they allowed people to sell Bitcoin up there. So I bought my first one. I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, I thought of it as like a game token. I didn't even really know what it was.
I know. I'm so mad at myself.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a nerd too, because I read about Bitcoin in 2009 in Wired magazine, right?
Yeah.
And what did I do? I took my laptops and I joined a Bitcoin pool in 2009. Nice. And I heard I know I got Bitcoin on a hard drive somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Because I heard my computer go cha-ching. And I was like, this is in the middle of the night, so I didn't get up, but I burned out 2 laptops and I just never, I didn't realize what I was doing. I was just fucking around. And so
nobody knew what the potential was.
Right. Now I understand it.
Yeah.
So, so you decided once you got into crypto and you bought your first Bitcoin, were you stacking your Bitcoin or you just bought it and left it?
Yeah, so I got into Bitcoin. It was still kind of early in my professional career. So I really didn't have that much money to invest at the time.
Right.
So I was stacking as much as I could. And fast forward a few years later, me and my wife, we had 2 kids and we were renting a townhouse. And we were ready to purchase our first home. And, got our credit right and all of that. And we were like, okay, now we need this deposit. So I ended up cashing out majority of my Bitcoin to put the deposit.
Right, you bought.
And that was like literally just from like a $200 investment into Bitcoin, maybe a little bit more, but I had stacked up to like 47 Bitcoin because it was so cheap then.
Wow.
And it sounds like a success story. Like, yeah, this guy put a down payment on the house with Bitcoin, but if I would have held on, it would have been amazing.
You could have paid for the house in cash.
Yeah. I probably would have bought a few more houses. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's my little story about Bitcoin. But after that, when you're in a marriage or whatever, you have to have your partner have to be on the same accord as you. So she was skeptical about Bitcoin, kind of coming in, and until we had purchased the house, and that was the only option that we had to get that earnest money deposit. She was a believer, so she's like, yeah, this crypto is a game changer.
She have her own crypto account now.
Yeah, she has freaking Binance, Coinbase, all of it. Yeah, she's locked in.
Now, did you back in 2017 were you riding that ICO wave?
I think I got to the ICO wave a little late because by the time I got to it, it was starting to get a lot more regulated and they needed a lot more documentations in order for you to even participate in the ICO. Okay. So I wanted to get into like the Ethereum ICO, but by the time I was trying to, get involved with it, they needed a lot of paperwork and, see how much you earned and so forth. You needed to be in a certain bracket and all of that. So I was like, nah, I want to stay as anonymous as possible at that time.
Right.
I didn't really want to have that paperwork out there. But yeah, I really didn't get into the ICOs until like a little bit more recently when they started doing like the the coin ICO. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, you're transitioning from one currency to another, and that's pretty much the idea we had kind of launched Strands with.
Yeah, I mean,
As well.
I started stacking my Bitcoin in 2017, the year I got married, and but I got burned by some of those ICOs. You know,
Yeah, it's
and you try to support, like I try to support Black founders, right? And then
oh
some of
yeah.
them still do the rug pull thing. You know, it's like I'm right
Oh
now
man.
chasing a dude down. I want my 2 Ethereum back.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible. And that's really, kind of going into this project. I wanted to go into it, like with full transparency because like I'm a software engineer, but this is my first time releasing a cryptocurrency. So I know this part of it was going to be, kind of new for us. And I
Right.
knew we were going to hit some hurdles. We were going to have to figure some stuff out, but I wanted to be as transparent as possible with people. And if there was any issues, we want to make sure we fix it right away because crypto is ruthless, man. It's
It
ruthless. It's like
truly.
there's way more scammers than people that's actually trying to do something. So
Right. Well, I hopped on the SFN uh
awesome.
using but I think I had a little issue because
Really?
it right. So, you know, I the link that was sent out with the launch,
Mm-hmm.
I clicked that link and it took me to the SFN page where it says there's a little bar that says you have to, you know, point 0.5 to get the
Oh yeah,
SFN
the pre-sale,
tokens.
the pre-sale link.
Right,
Yeah.
the pre-sale. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. No.
Yeah, I can see it.
You see it? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I said. So I got a half a Binance coin or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
BNB, and I sent, but I sent Ethereum to this Meta wallet.
Wow, really?
It asked for because it wouldn't let me, it wouldn't take my BNB. So I sent the Ethereum.
Jeez.
I sent Ethereum, and then then it recognized it. So I clicked this again, and then it said I had enough BNB. Right?
Mm.
It said I had enough BNB, and I hit buy SFN, and then I got a thing that's looked like this. I don't know if you can see that. And it said
Wow.
it took my money, $381, Strains Finance, and it says buy
Well,
tokens
it's a
Black.
little blurry.
That
So
was a
hold on, you
little,
purchased it with Ethereum, but it's on
but
the Binance network.
right, it's weird
Yeah.
how this went down. So I just figured I lost my $381.
No, no, no. Hey, we're here to get it right. We're gonna get it right.
Right.
But,
So
but
so it was a little weird to me because it says I have tokens, but I don't know
yeah,
what tokens they are. I don't know where they're storing those tokens.
yeah,
And it says I can view it on the Ether scan. So I mean,
yeah.
we
We're
can
definitely
talk
not on
about
no
that
Ethereum network.
offline a little
Yeah, yeah.
bit.
Well, hey, I'm gonna get you right. I don't know what happened on that one. It was first time I heard of that. Someone purchasing it with Ethereum, but
Well, because the MetaMask, I connected my MetaMask wallet to the, you know, it says connect your MetaMask wallet. So I did.
yeah.
And then I bought the Binance token, and it, for whatever reason, it would not take the Binance. It took my
Mm,
Ether. It didn't take the Binance.
okay, okay.
So now from the BP and C group, uh, that's our Black People in Crypto group.
Yep,
I have a question from Troy.
absolutely.
And Troy wanted to know, he says, currently the value of my investment is not displayed like other coins in my trust wallet, only the quantity. Is
Yep.
this something they are working on, or is that something that he can remedy himself? Like, can he go in and switch a tab or something that shows the
No,
value of his investment?
yeah, that's a great question. So that is actually controlled by CoinGecko. So I'm assuming he's in like he's using Trust Wallet to
Yes,
store
the
his
trust
coin.
wallet. Hmm.
So they get that information from CoinGecko, and CoinGecko needs at least a week of records of trading on the exchange. And we
Okay.
haven't really quite. We're about what 5 days,
Okay.
5 days in. So we don't have that data to even get on CoinGecko as of yet. But once we're listed on CoinGecko, then we can kind of make that connection with Trust Wallet because they don't pull it directly from BSC scan. They pull it from like the intermediary through CoinGecko. So we just have to let them know, like once it's live, we can point them to the direction of where it's listed on CoinGecko.
Right now, who designed your software for the wallets? Was that you? Do you design those wallets? Because when I look for a wallet to use, I want simplicity. I want it to look clean and
no, yeah. So we just actually so Trust Wallet, that's something that is used for like multiple currencies, and we really just kind of built around that because we feel like that was one that was.
So
really
you don't
secure.
have your own strange
No,
Binance wallet.
no, we don't because we're on the Binance chain.
Okay.
And they already have. We don't really need to reinvent the wheel on that part because they already have a lot of wallets that work well with their native assets. So we really just wanted to point people in the direction of some wallets that were trustworthy. And there's a few other ones that we really didn't even mention on the website because of some issues that have come about. Like even MetaMask, I've had some issues with MetaMask in the past.
Yeah, one of our members, I think, just said they got hacked on MetaMask.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of the thing in crypto, and well, anytime you're on the internet and you're dealing with crypto, you want to try to have a hardware wallet because your keys are really never touching your web browser. And if you're setting up MetaMask, you can go into MetaMask and say, preview my private key. So if your computer ever gets compromised with like some spyware or any kind of malware, and you go and view your private key, it's a man in the middle. They're already seeing exactly what you see. So now they can go in there.
They just go in there and just wipe you out and leave you.
Exactly. So yeah, you want to get something like this, like a Trezor or
the Ledger.
Ledger, yeah, something like that, because it'll keep it all kind of distant from your computer.
Right.
Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way too. That man, it was devastating.
Right. I can imagine. Now, what goes into launching a new blockchain? Because you didn't just launch a token, right? You launched the blockchain as well, correct?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. So the token aspect of it, that part was the newest and kind of nerve-wracking piece because we never launched a token. But my team and we actually have a team of developers that I work with as well. We've done a lot of blockchain integrations and actually built a few dApps for a few clients. So that part was pretty straightforward. But like launching your native asset and figuring out the token allocation and locking liquidity and all that, like we've read about it and you can do but so much on the test network. Like when you get real people that's actually sitting on your currency and there's an issue, you have to figure out how to mitigate it and so forth. So in that aspect, it's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. I've been up for like 24 hours some days because I come from a customer support background. Like that was one of my first jobs. Like you want your clients, if they're believing in what you're doing, you want to keep them happy at any cost. But you also, you got to be mindful. This is crypto. It's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of scammers out here. We had an issue where there were people saying they didn't receive tokens and so forth, and then go and look at their wallet. They never even like purchased any strands. So it's like it's I mean, some issues can be valid, but a lot of them were like, hey, I hear you giving out free money. I want some of that too. So you really gotta do your due diligence and really kind of protect yourself from that.
Right. So you guys have about 5,000 wallet holders now, though, right?
Yeah, I think we're at like 7. Yeah, we're at like 7,200. Yeah.
70. Nice. So what's the goal? How many wallets did you project? Did you add that into your mix? Like we need this many wallets.
Yeah, we haven't really nailed down that metrics on like where we want to go, but sky's the limit. Like we're looking at like the Safe Moons and stuff like that have like millions of wallets like that.
But why does Safe Moon have millions of wallets? I don't understand it. It's not even worth a penny right now, is it?
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason because it's a psychological kind of deal when it comes to crypto. Like even when you're trading, like I've been a trader for quite a while, and some coins that have never been worth $1, as soon as they get to that 99-cent mark, they'll bump their heads and come right back down. Like, and I think Safe Moon, the fact that they have quite a lot of coins, it makes people, less hesitant to jump in and just buy like a bunch of them. Like, hey, when this get to a penny, I'll be rich, and that's kind of the mindset. And now we're at the point now we have a way smaller supply than Safe Moon. We just did a burn, so we only have like 300, well, close to 400 million strands in
But
circulation right now.
how does that work? So you, because I noticed on your map it says that there's a 1% liquidity, 1% is allocated towards liquidity, and what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, so 1% of what we
And
have in
that liquidity
circulation.
sits on the Binance chain.
No, that liquidity, it sits on Pancake Swap.
Oh,
Okay.
Pancake Swap. Okay.
Yeah, and when I say that the theme of this week has been technical difficulty, like it's been crazy. So Pancake Swap, it's not just us, but a lot of coins, they've locked their liquidity on V1 of Pancake Swap. So when you lock your liquidity, the reason you do that is because it prevents you from taking it off and doing a rug pull type of deal. People trading on your coin or whatever, and you just take your liquidity off. That's basically saying like, I'm gonna take all the coins. When you do liquidity, you're putting up your coin and another coin. Like in our situation, we're doing BNB versus strands. So we have to put both of those on the exchange, and that allows people to trade between the two.
Okay.
So if you don't lock your liquidity at any point in time, you can pull that off the exchange,
Right.
and it'll stop people from trading. And you can literally just shut your project down and run away and say, okay, I made enough money, I'm done. So to show good faith, we went ahead and locked our liquidity. And 2 days later, Pancake Swap saying, hey, we're going to V2, and we're not going to support the locked liquidity that's on V1. So now we have, so now we're working on a way to kind of route people to, they still have the V1 available. So we're trying to route everybody.
So V1 is, what does that mean exactly? Is that their
that's the version
network?
Yeah, the version 1 of their network. And it's kind of like, I know you're in the tech as well. So like, it's kind of like having a Windows computer and then you're going to the next version of Windows, but none of the software works on the new one. Right. Like, why wouldn't you make it backwards compatible? It's crazy.
Right. And did you ask them that?
Yeah, I've been in communication with them. We're also speaking with the company that we locked the liquidity with to see if there's any way we can kind of unlock it and get it transferred over to V2. But it's no definitive answer. There's a lot of people that's asking questions and not really getting a direct answer. So we're at the point now, like, we're just gonna put more liquidity on V2.
Right. What's the current token price for SFN right now?
The current token price, we're sitting at like a penny and a half right now.
Okay.
And I really believe that's going to pump like a lot because we just did a huge burn in strands. Okay. And we have some exchanges that we're working on getting listed on as well.
Do you have to pay to get listed on exchanges?
We do. I can't really talk about it because I had to sign some NDAs.
Right.
Yeah, it isn't free. It is not free.
Wow. I can see why it takes so long because, you know, I jump on like I'm into Klever and I've got the Klever app. And so I jump on and I'm like, when are you guys going to be on this, you know, Exodus exchange or this exchange or that exchange? And now I understand like it costs a lot of money and you have to factor that into your budget, right?
Yeah. And that's really like majority of the funds that you raise during pre-sale is going to go towards marketing and getting listed on exchanges. That's really the way it goes.
Now your team so how do you, so your team gets paid, compensated out of the pre-sale tokens, or how does that work?
No, so the team that I'm working with, I worked with them for a while. I have some other clients that I'm kind of finishing off with, but I paid them before we even started the project. Like,
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I paid them in advance because I didn't want to put a strain on a new token and say, hey, I need to pay my people, so you guys won't have to suffer with us being at a penny for a few months. Like, no, we want this thing to go through the roof because you know how it is when you have stakeholders in a company and they're holding. It's kind of like the deal with Coinbase. I know they went public and they had a lot of people that had shares of the company, and as soon as they went public, they sold it, and it caused a lot of ripple effect in the market. So I wanted to try to avoid that, and they do have some tokens, but we have it set up so we're not cashing out for at least a year down the road, but we're doing it incrementally. So we're not negatively affecting the market.
Now, I noticed on your website, you've only got you and your communications director as the team. Yeah. And so when people are looking, to see whether they want to invest in a company like that, do you think it's important that you show like the full team or who your advisors are? Yeah. How come those people aren't listed on your website?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we do have a larger team. We do have more developers. a lot of the developers that are on the team, they're contractors, so they're not, they may pivot between this project and another project. But some of our key members, we're based in the United States. Some of the key members, and I know there's a gray area in the U.S. when it comes to crypto. And if you hold certain licensing, I don't want to put too much attention on it, but when you hold certain licensing, you can't really be too involved with crypto, but you can still be an advisor, so out of respect for their anonymity,
right.
we wanted to, not display them, but they're still helping out quite a bit.
Oh, well,
but we do have, we're announcing a couple of advisors. I'm actually traveling to California in another week to speak to a couple of people that want to be a part of the team. So we have some announcements coming up, and I wanted to hold back because I know this is a huge project, and I know it's a lot of people that's really interested in it and want to be a part of it, but I wanted to make sure I made the right decisions before listing anybody else.
That's cool. Now let's talk about your CBD. And we're going to move into NFT conversation in a minute, but I want to talk about your CBD partners and why do you believe that CBD needs a blockchain?
Yeah, so I've been in the CBD industry for a while. I've actually sold CBD. I had a distributor license, and a few colleagues of mine actually have like farms where they grow CBD and so forth. And just kind of hearing like some of the pain points that they had to deal with and some of the pain points I had to deal with when I was really into CBD. I know it's not I don't want to say regulations, but it's not enough transparency in how things are done. And for me, I'm a naturalist. I've been sitting at home eating a lot since COVID, so I've put on a few pounds, but I'm really
look. I could give you a boxing workout online, brother.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I'll take it. But yeah, so I'm real conscious on what I put in my body. Like I don't I grow a garden every year. I don't like to use certain fertilizers and stuff like that because it affects. All of that is going to trickle back down into you. But CBD, it doesn't have the same stringent, kind of cautionary as if you were, purchasing regular food or anything like that. So you don't have to be as strategic or as strict about, certain chemicals or toxic things that you use to grow it, So with that being said, I was like, okay, we need to, bring some transparency in here and really like not in a way where it's like, okay, we're the FDA now, we're gonna, hark down on you, but highlight the people that's doing it right. If you're gonna grow real organic CBD and you want people to understand all the hard work that you're putting into your product, we should be able to have a solution that highlights you and put you up on a pedestal so people can say, hey, they're listed on Strands and this is what they're doing. You can see everything that, you can track it from the time they plant it all the way to what the dispensary it was sold at. So that's the game plan for that.
Right. So are you tracking the ingredients or are you just you're tracking the bottle, like once it's produced and
so
it's
there's a few forms that CBD is sold in, so you can actually buy the flower, and if it's the flower, we're just tracking from growth, like the chemicals that was used when it was growing all the way into where
when you say the chemicals, are you talking about like the fertilizer, like the stuff
everything
So the grower now, you're saying that for them to be part of the Strains blockchain, if I'm growing, everything that I use on that plant from the time I planted it to the time I dried it out and packaged it, all of those ingredients has to be listed on the blockchain?
It's stored in the blockchain. It is. And that is from there, the consumer that purchased it is stored in that NFT.
So what does the consumer get? They get a little
they get the NFT certificate.
They get the NFT certificate. So that's where the NFT comes in
exactly
play. Now, do they have to pay for that NFT, or how do they receive the NFT?
Yeah, so that NFT when they purchase it, it's part of the purchase price of the product itself. So a lot of some dispensaries that I spoke with that are interested in integrating with it, some of them want to do all of them, kind of backed by the strands, whole methodology of tracking everything. But other dispensaries, they want to have like certain brands, like kind of like top shelf CBD is tracked this way and so forth, because it got to be cost efficient for everybody. We want to, and again, we're here to make a profit at the end of the day, but we also, but before all of that, we want to bring some transparency. And I don't want to point any fingers at anybody, but I hear it's a lot of people that's not doing the right thing when it comes to processing CBD. And the thing is, like I said, it's a bunch of different ways you can purchase CBD. You can buy like the tinctures, you know, the drops and so forth. You can buy the flower, you can buy the gummies and all of that. So when you buy the flower, 9 times out of 10, it's not too much you're going to be able to hide in it. Like it's literally it's the flower or it's not, you know. But when you get into like the gummies and all that, you can put some toxic preservatives to further the shelf life, you know.
Right.
So we want to be able to try to get as much transparency into that.
Right. Now with the NFTs, we're going to move into this NFT conversation because I'm a big fan of Jimmy Song. I think you know who he is.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
He's not a big fan of NFTs, and he believes that most of what people want to put into an NFT, a non-fungible token, for those of you that don't know what an NFT is, he believes a lot of that could just be on a website as an HTML page. He's like, why do we need to put everything on as an NFT? So why did you believe that you needed to have this NFT as part of your the SFN project?
Yeah, well, for me, it seemed like a perfect data store. Like if you're going to be collecting data and you want something that's going to be solid, you can't change it, you can't modify it. NFT seems like the perfect way of doing it. You know, with the website, an admin can go in there and say, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change it. And, you know, it's.
So once it's in an NFT form, nobody can alter it because it's set on the blockchain. Right?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say they can't alter it, but the history is always going to be there. Like we can change it and say, hey, we didn't put chemicals in here at the last minute. But then when you go back in history, if those were in there, those toxic, you know, you can track back into history and see what's in there.
Right.
But yeah, that's really the reason why we went that direction with the NFT, because it's like it's stamped in there. It's
okay.
The history is like locked into the blockchain.
And will you be offering any collectible NFTs, like some cool NFT, like comics or?
Yeah, I don't want to give away any secrets, but yeah, we definitely like that's part of it as well, because you know our idea is like, okay, we get teamed up with some big brands, and like who doesn't want to say they have an official certain type of strand of CBD from this big company or big celebrity, and you have that, the resellability of that goes through the roof because the NFT is attached to it. So that whole product becomes a collectible. Yeah, so
Beautiful.
that's the goal.
Do you own any NFTs? Have you bid on or OpenSeas? Because I see your website's like linked directly to OpenSeas.
Yeah. So I do own a few NFTs. I'm really a fan of like some of the more closed source NFT projects that have a lot of licensing and stuff like that. I do support
like which one?
I really like Omi and VV. I really like those. I don't know if you've seen them. Are you familiar? So they have a lot of licenses, like with DC and and like they just launched like the Back to Future car that's actually interactive. You can get inside of it, open the doors and stuff.
What?
Yeah. So when you kind of close source it, I think they do it because of the licensing purpose. I don't think they can really put it out on like OpenSea or you know stuff like that. But you can get a lot more creative that way. But no, I'm a fan. I've purchased some NFTs from a few artists that I've seen that were online. But trying to get NFTs are not easy. Like you have to really like watch the clock.
And I don't have the bandwidth for all that right now. You know, it's like you got to bid, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm like, I'm cool. So
exactly.
You just buy the book.
Exactly.
These guys just did a NFT launch. These guys right here. They
were, nice.
Yeah, Deidre. So this is a Black Comic Concrete Park by Tony per year, and Erica Alexander. And
Nice.
they're launching NFTs. So if you're going to collect, you should probably
Yeah, hold on. What is the name again?
Concrete Park.
Concrete Park. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Dark Horse Originals. Yep. So Deidre just interviewed Erica Alexander the other day for BP&C.
Nice.
So,
nice.
So yeah, I mean, I love, like I said, I love supporting Black founders. I really want to wish you guys all the best in the future. I want to know though, where do you see SFN at in the future? What's the plan 5 years from now?
5 years from now, we'll be the go-to source for tracking of CBD. We'll be like the source that, not from like a federal level, anything like that, but the trusted source that people can say, hey, if they have the strand stamp on it, then we know that they did their due diligence and they're doing it the right way.
Excellent. Are you guys hiring?
Absolutely. We need all the help we can get right now. Absolutely.
All right, look, I'm going to put the word out to these 15,000 people in our group.
Awesome. Yeah,
That's
tell them,
right.
tell them hit us up. This is only day 5 of us being on the blockchain, and this thing has grown like crazy.
Right. So I believe you probably need like a gang of marketing. You need a marketing team to, right, and taking orders, right?
Yeah. Hey, I'm an easy guy to work with, y'all. I'm easy going.
That's good. Pump it up. Let's do it. Pump it up. I'm ready.
We're goal oriented, and like we don't worry about the price of the coin so much. We know that when you deliver a solid product, the price is going to follow. So
people service profit. That's what it used to be at FedEx.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ben, it was wonderful chatting with you today, my brother.
Likewise.
Like I said, I want to wish you guys all the best in the future. I hope you come back, and we're going to check in with you in a few months and see how things are going with SFN. You want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, I want to first of all say, I want to give a huge shout out to the people of Indonesia. They were the first ones to ever help SFN go viral. Like
really?
Like I never even been to Indonesia. It's crazy. We did an airdrop. That was really what sparked this whole thing. You know, we did an airdrop. It's been about a little over a month ago, and they came in swarms. They did all the tasks. And like even now, like the SFN clan, like they are hardcore. Like they'll go if it's any contests coming up, or if it's anything that we need them to kind of go and swarm and help out, they're there. So I want to really give them a big high five to everybody.
Right on, big high five.
And then I want to give a big shout out to all my partners, everybody that's helping us. Like all of us been up nonstop, making sure stuff is running smooth and there's no huge issues or anything like that. I'm sure we still have a few more things that we need to kind of buckle down on, but the next phase of SFN is where we really are going to strive, because it's what we do. Like we've built solutions like this before. Right
on, Benjamin. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing. I want you guys to be successful. So we're going to get the word out. Where can people find you on social media? How can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, well, my personal social media for Twitter is I am Crypto Benny. And but for Strands, you can find us at Strands Finance. Either one of them, I'm sure to get back to me. So definitely follow us on Strands Finance.
Strands.finance. That's Strands.finance, folks. All right. So look, you guys can catch this show. I'm going to be uploading this later on tonight. So you guys stay tuned for the next gig. I'll be in the war room later after this with Eddie Goldman. But thanks everyone for listening. This is DJ Tribal and Benjamin Bond, and we are out. All right.